fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined with Andy Lee. We see your man Joseph Parker, he's back out this Saturday, rebuilding a strong 2023 after a win in May. How are you feeling going to this one, a big occasion in Saudi Arabia?
First of all, big shout out to Empire Pro Tape, the best in the business. We use them every day. Thank you, Jamie, for sorting us out. Joe's in great form, Tyson's in great form. We were trained in Morecambe. The boys couldn't do any more, giving me any more. SugarHill's done a fantastic job of what he's done with Tyson. It's been to watch how he's transformed him over these past 12 weeks. Just how he's put together all the components, the little things. And even when you think, oh, Tyson's looking good now, no, Sugar says no, there's a little bit more to do, and within a week he's even improved more. So it's been really good. Joe and Tyson have sparred together for the first time.
Yeah, he told me that.
And it just to be part of it, but also just to watch the thing, it was like, as a fan, it was so exciting. I'd be leaving the gym buzzing every day because they're watching the sparring and how well it went for both of them. Nip and tuck, no one winning clearly, everyone having good moments. So it's been a really good, harmonious camp, really enjoyable, as well as a lot of hard work, but we enjoy the work.
We'll firstly touch on 2023 as a bit of a rebuild for Joseph Parker after, the Joe Joyce defeat. How much learning do you think yourself took and Joe took from that fight and pushing it to even make him a better fighter, even growing even more?
Tough fight, tough loss.
From Ipswich, England.
As a coach, you can only train the fighter, and they listen to you. But listen, I always thought the Joyce fight was going to be a very, very hard fight. But when the fight's made, you train to win. I invested a lot of myself in that fight, put myself on the line. Like he put a lot more than I did, but it's hard to explain. I invested a lot of myself in the camp and in my belief in Joe. We came up short. It was a back and forth fight. Joyce was phenomenal that night, and just a word to Joe on Joe Joyce. Like that was only just over a year ago. He was on top of the world, and what's happened since then is that Joe's had had 2 wins, and he's had 2 losses. And now you'd say that Joe Parker is here and Joyce is down here, and that's how quickly it can change. So just a message to Joe Joyce is that get back in the ring, get your heel up. Get back in the ring. People forget, there's a short memory. You're only as good as your last fight. It's a cliche, but get back in the ring and remind people how good you are. He still beats a lot of the best guys out there, Joyce.
So I'm just going to move this back a little bit. Saying that about Joe there, who, for someone like Joe who, he's been a world champion, he's been at the top level, fought guys like AJ, been aware of so many top competitions, and he's always talking about growing and learning. Is that such a testament to his mentality and a student like yourself?
Joe still has a lot to learn. For a guy who's accomplished so much, I was shocked when he first came to me. Bad habits that have crept in over the years. Not to say anything bad about his former coach who took him to the world title, who's the greatest achievement we can make in boxing. But there's so many more improvements to make for him and for me. Yeah, like you said, asked about learning in the Joyce fight. What did I learn? I could have probably stopped the fight myself earlier, took it out of his hands, but as a champion, a former champion, you want to see him finish the fight. I know as a fighter, I would want to finish the fight, and we took that chance. It didn't happen. You never stop learning, especially in boxing. There's a lot to learn. I learned a lot in this camp from SugarHill, just watching him and being part of the camp. Even from Tyson, I learned a lot about mentality and focus. You cannot learn or grow in this environment.
Well, you talk about that environment there, you talk about how good it is. How much of a healthy environment is that with yourself, Tyson, Sugar, all these people, creating such a strong environment, and a happy fighter is always a dangerous fighter?
I've always believed that it was never a good idea for Joe to train in Morecambe, because he's in the home of the best heavyweight in the world. In the division he's in, he's going to have to try and... you have to walk into a gym as a fighter, and I'm the best man in this gym. That's how when I walk into a gym, I want to spar everybody in here and prove I'm the best. And that should be your attitude. But when Joe was there with Tyson, he's always going to have the number 1 guy in their gym. So For a long time, we've been trying to get Joe out of Morecambe. I agreed to go to Morecambe this time. He's been working closely with George Lockhart, the nutritionist, and they both work with Tyson and George. So, okay, we'll go to Morecambe. But for the first time, Joe sparred Tyson, and I think he proved that he belongs there. To himself more than anybody, because I've always known he belongs there, but to himself. And I think as you can see a new kind of self-esteem in him now, like a new growth of confidence, and hopefully it shows out on Saturday.
What can you tell us about the sparring between the two?
It was nip and tuck. There was no one really had a dominant day. Tyson would have some great moments, Joe would come right back, and then Tyson would get him right, trying his hardest to get it back, you know? And like me and SugarHill were in opposite corners, yelling instruction and cheering our guy on. And it was like a Rocky and Apollo or something, you know? It was crazy. It was good form, though. It was good spirited work.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go into Tyson. He obviously has the challenge of Francis Ngannou on Saturday night. You know, whether you like it or not, you can't deny that this is a massive, massive fight. And when you see this production, it shows how big it can be.
Yeah, he's fighting Ngannou. It's a massive, massive, massive event, I guess. Like, as a boxing purist, you think, oh, this guy's never had a fight and he can walk in and fight the heavyweight champion. He doesn't deserve to be in there. But I guess it's just an event, isn't it? I asked Bob Arum last night, what's the reports from Vegas about Ngannou? He said, can't really box, but can punch. He can knock a wall down with his right hand. So you always got to be wary of that. And he is very hungry, determined, motivated, of course motivated. So you can't underestimate anybody, but I have no fears because I know how Tyson's trained. He's done the work as if he was fighting Wilder or anybody else, more work if not. So, no stone unturned.
And with that, obviously, you talk about the criticism with the Ngannou fight. Fury this year definitely would say Fury's definitely come under a lot of scrutiny, but he's proved his guys wrong with the Oleksandr Usyk fight being signed. And what do you sort of make of the scrutiny that he's come under this year?
It's been very frustrating for me as a friend to Tyson and as someone who, I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but I've been privy to some of it. And I know the fights that Tyson's tried to make, I know that the deals he's tried to make, what he's done to make those fights, and they haven't happened. And it's been through no fault of his own. And for me to sit and watch, be on Twitter or whatever it is, and see the criticism of people who have no idea, no clue what's going on, I couldn't be further away from the truth. These so-called reporters who had the inside sauce couldn't be further away from the truth. It's been quite frustrating, but now it's all coming. And, you know, Tyson can have the last laugh.
Well, we'll talk about having the last laugh. He obviously takes on Oleksandr Usyk. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we know it's definitely happening. The first undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis is going to be here on Saturday night. How excited are you for that fight and as a spectacle for the heavyweight division?
It's the fight that, it's the fight everybody wants to see, isn't it? And it's a fight that, boxing needs it'd be great to have a unified champion or an undisputed champion in all divisions. Someone who is, you know, the one everyone has to aim for. And this one will just, when Tyson beats Usyk, it'll just erase any doubts there is that he's the #1 in the world.
100%. Andy Lee, thank you for your time. Always appreciate talking to you. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Top man. Thank you, mate. Cheers.